Have you ever wondered how a dynasty navigated the treacherous waters of power and intrigue while orchestrating the growth of a civilization? This tale from ancient China, the era of the Song Dynasty, reveals just how complex and cunning leaders of the past had to be. It all began with one man, Zhao Guangyin, who later became known as the Emperor Taizu. On one fateful night, he learned a crucial lesson about the might of the military and the delicate balance of power. Initially bending to his soldiers' demands, he swiftly demanded their absolute loyalty in return, setting a strict command that the young ruler and the royal family were not to be harmed. Under his rule from 960 to 976, Taizu embarked on a mission to unify the realm through diplomacy and intimidation rather than outright warfare, an approach that initially bore fruit, leading to the consolidation of the Song territory by 979 under his brother Emperor Taizong. Yet, this transition of power was shrouded in darkness and whispers of foul play, rumors of an axe blow in the night that might have facilitated Taizong's ascendancy to the throne. Despite a smaller domain compared to the Tang dynasty's expansive reach, the Song dynasty under Taizong's rule faced significant challenges. Resisting Tibetans, indigenous tribes, and the formidable Khitans, Taizong grappled with securing Song's frontiers. Notably, the Khitans, a proto-Mongolian nomadic group, had established the powerful Liao Dynasty, presenting a persistent threat to Song's ambitions. Under Taizong's son, Emperor Zhenzong, the Song dynasty in 1004 chose a path of peace, albeit a costly one, paying a substantial goodwill fee to the Liao dynasty, securing over 100 years of relative tranquility, but not without challenges from various regional powers. As the decades unfolded, a standout figure, Wang Anshi, emerged during the reign of the fourth Song emperor. Now, picture this remarkable man, a curious blend of genius and eccentricity. Lin Yutang, a 20th century essayist, noted Wang's extraordinary intellectual and poetic talents, unfortunately paired with a lackluster sense of tact. Wang's commitment to his ideals was exemplified by a curious incident where, unaware, he donned a fresh robe placed by his friends, showing his indifference to material concerns. Another amusing episode occurred when the emperor invited ministers to catch their own dinner fish. Wang, ever the nonconformist, simply ate the bait. Wang Anshi, after years serving as a local official, had developed a keen sense of the social inequalities plaguing society. He witnessed how vast estates held by powerful families led to exploitation and observed the ease with which the rich evaded taxes, putting undue pressure on those less fortunate. For Wang, Confucian ideals and ceremonies were insufficient in addressing these deep-seated issues. Rather, he advocated for legalist reforms aimed at cultivating social justice and equality, an idea that was ahead of its time and highly controversial. This journey through the Song dynasty's corridors of power and the stories of its leaders, both visionary and ruthless, offers a glimpse into a time when leadership was as much about cunning as it was about authority. In recounting these tales, we find not just history, but lessons on the complexities of governance and human nature that resonate through the ages. So, as we reflect on these narratives, let's consider the delicate balance of power, the burden of leadership, and the timeless quest for social harmony in the vast tapestry of human civilization. Wang Anshi, a visionary perhaps too ahead of his time, proposed in his memorial to the throne a series of reforms aimed at closing tax loopholes for the wealthy to bolster the empire's finances. This was more than just a financial maneuver, it was a plea to level the societal playing field. Imagine the empire, bustling with workers paid to build and repair the monumental Great Walls, funded by cutting off the upper class's financial escapades. Wang argued against the flamboyance of lavish weddings and funerals, which high society justified with Confucian principles. These ostentatious displays only deepened the humiliation of low-paid officials who, unable to meet such high standards, were left vulnerable to corruption. His solution? Better wages for these officials and state-funded loans for farmers, far more benevolent than those offered by the money-making elites. Further, Wang introduced the transformative BOG system, which intertwined households into units for mutual aid, tax collection, and law enforcement. Consider this: a chain of solidarity among locale, managing themselves with minimal chaos. An idea that significantly influences societal organization even today, as seen in China's urban neighborhood committees. However, not everyone was thrilled with Wang's forward thinking. The Neo Confucians, proud traditionalists, found his ideas and his less than elegant public persona distasteful. They clung to the image of the scholar official whose intellect and moral fiber didn't involve engaging with specialized practical skills. Wang's pivotal moment came under the patronage of the Song Emperor Shenzong. Together, they brought Wang's ideas to life through new laws, despite resistance from various quarters of the elite. But, as fate would have it, Wang's tenure was cut short. In 1085, just a year after Emperor Shenzong's death, the court, swayed by Wang's rivals, forced him into retirement, and with him, his 2 decade long experiment waned and he passed away shortly after. Yet, this was not the end of Wang's influence. Emperors who succeeded Shenzong revived and perpetuated his reforms, seeing the value in Wang's vision of a more equitable governmental system. His legacy is undeniable, spanning the establishment of public institutions like orphanages, hospitals, and schools, which are essential components of societal infrastructure even today. Let's pause for a second. Historians endlessly debate over Wang Anshi's character. Was he a proto-socialist, as Mao Zedong would later claim, a simple dreamer, or a canny political player? His enduring contributions, however, speak of a man who certainly reimagined the role of government and its responsibilities toward its citizens. Meanwhile, back to the crux of Confucianism's transformation. Post Wang's era, the Neo-Confucians took charge, sculpting Confucian philosophy into the cornerstone of state ideology. They revered ancient mythical kings and emphasized ritual and ceremony, embedding these practices deeply within every stratum of society, from the imperial court to village archery contests. Among these Neo-Confucians stood Ji, an intellectual giant who straddled Taoism, Buddhism, and Confucianism. Zhu preached that, through correct behavior and moral integrity, bolstered by the concept of qi, the life force connecting the elements of the universe, anyone could ascend to nobility of spirit. He upheld that the true gentleman, the Junzi, must stand against tyranny and corruption. Interesting, right? The philosophical torch passed from Wang Anshi to Zhu highlights a vibrant period of intellectual rigor and debate, which still lights up discussions about governance, ethics, and the responsibilities of both rulers and the ruled. Let's keep going to explore how these historical shifts continue to influence our understanding of leadership and morality today. That's it for today's episode on Fun Learn Talks, where stories from business, technology, and history keep your curiosity alive. If you enjoyed the journey, make sure to follow, rate, or share it with a fellow curious mind. And hey, we'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment or connect with us online. I'm Anu, and I'll catch you next time, right here on Fun Learn Talks. Until then, keep learning, keep wondering.